everybody. Welcome to Fiber Fun with Olivia. My name is Olivia. I am a crocheter, I am a knitter, and I like to geek out and nerd out on anything fiber related. I hope you do too. Welcome and Happy New Year, everybody. The last video that I filmed was on December 31st, even though I had some issues uploading it because we lost electricity for about 7 hours up here in the San Francisco Bay Area on December 31st of all days. I was gonna quickly film, and I did. I got the filming in, but I didn't get to edit or upload or anything, and so I wasn't able to upload it until January 1st, which was insane. Insane that on the night that you plan to like celebrate and welcome the new year, no electricity. So the family and I, we had some family visiting from Florida too, and we had some candles going on and everything, and like around 10, I think it was like 9:30 or 10, we got electricity, so we did get to give ourselves a hug and just go, yay, Happy New Year at midnight and stuff, and then we went to sleep because we were tired. Anyway, welcome to another Whip Sips and Fiber Fun Chitter Chatter. What is my sip today? My sip is some iced tea. The ice already melted, but it's still cold. It's okay. What am I drinking? I did a combination of 2 teas today. I mixed in some Twinings cold brew iced tea in mint flavor, and another baggie of Yogi green tea super antioxidant tea. So I just got a little baggie of each and let them sit there in some hot water, and then poured it over my ice, and that's what I'm drinking. I just feel like having some iced tea today, even though the ice is melted. Let's have our sip, shall we? It's still cold, so I love it. So today I have a little bit of whip chitter chatter, a few finished objects to share with you. I also want to share with you a Christmas gift that I received this year that I've already started using and I absolutely love. And if you follow me on Instagram, Fiber Fun with Olivia, you probably saw it. I also want to share just a little bit about some upcoming collaboration videos that I'm planning with some YouTube friends. Those will be coming out in February and moving forward. So I am really excited about that. But before we get into all of that, I want to invite everybody, if you missed my Happy New Year video, that video was also about a make-along that we are doing, and it already started, y'all. It started on January 1st, and it's ending February 15th. So there's still time if you want to join us. What is the make-along about? Only 2 rules. You have to use a pattern that is in your library, meaning in your books, your magazines that you have purchased in the past. It could be saved on your computer in Pinterest folders, Google Docs, wherever it is that you save your patterns. And number 2, you must use yarn that is already in your stash. So those are the only 2 rules. We already have a few of you that have started using the hashtag. I'll put it here so everybody can see it. Please use this hashtag, especially if you're on Instagram, because you can follow a hashtag, and that way anybody who uses that hashtag, it'll show up on your feed. Or you can go to the hashtag and you'll see all of the posts from everybody who has used that hashtag. And it's a great way for us to be able to see each other's work and just get really excited about it. Speaking of sharing our work, I also created a Facebook group for our Fiber Fun Familia. So again, that'll be linked in the description box. Please join in. And I mentioned in the last video, once I start working, because today's my last day of vacation. I love my job, but I love vacation. I love staycation and crocheting and knitting. So I did mention in the last video that my Facebook group, when I'm working, I won't be able to post. So you'll see me kind of disappear, but then when I'm not working, maybe on a lunch break, maybe in the evening, maybe on the weekends, that's when I'll show up. So if you're okay with that, please go ahead and join, and don't be upset if I don't respond right away, because like I said, I'm gonna be working, but you know, I want us to have a space where we can share our make-along makes, or just chat about anything we discovered, like, oh my God, look, I saw this, oh my God, blah, 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 anything fiber related, right? Let's have some fiber fun. So please join the Facebook group if you'd like, and we'll see you there. Like I mentioned, I did talk about all of this. I put the dates, the hashtag, and all of that in my Happy New Year video. I will link that video in the description box so you can go check it out. And hopefully you will be joining us because you want a stash bust. You want to de-stash your stash, right? Okay, let's take a sip before I share my whip. So, my first and only whip that I'm going to share with you all, I have already shared with you before, but it's still a whip. It is this knit scarf that I'm just winging because I needed something to work on while we had visitors, and maybe we were, you know, in conversation, chit-chatting, watching a movie or whatnot whenever we were at home, and I needed something for my fingers to be, for my hands to be working on. So I just grabbed a ball from my stash, a ball of yarn, a cake of yarn, and I started going at it. I started knitting, and at first I just started knit, 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 knit. And then I decided, you know what, I need some texture in here, so I grabbed my book of knit stitches, and I made one type of stitch, and then I started with another one, and I was very intentional on choosing really easy stitches. The repeats were, you know, easy. And so I know I showed it to you before. I haven't done that much more because I've decided that this is going to be my in-between projects. Like when this happens to me, right? Like I'll finish a project and then I'll be looking at, sometimes it takes me forever to find patterns or something that I really want to make because I'm picky. We've talked about that. Some of you have told me you're picky too. I love it. We're picky. We know what we want. I mean, I think we all know what we want, right? So, yeah, so it takes me some time, and in the meantime, you know, sometimes I get exhausted and I'm like, okay, let me stop looking for patterns. Let me go watch a movie, or let me go do whatever with hubby, with the kids. And so this can be my in-between project. I think I'm gonna put all of this together just in case at the end I'm really happy with the pattern. It's just gonna be a simple knit pattern, and putting it, you know, writing it down so that I can share it with you all if you all like it. I have no idea what this is gonna turn out like in the end, but oh yeah, and you know, I did share the yarn with you last time, but I haven't showed it to you this time. This is Lion Brand Mandala Tweed Stripes. And I'm pretty sure this yarn is now discontinued, but it's still in my stash. Yeah, it's really pretty. It makes me happy just to be knitting with it. Now, this is a 4-weight yarn, and it is 100% acrylic, but I will say it feels like it has some cotton in there. There is like a little bit of a tug on it. I don't mind it too much, but yeah. It's an interesting acrylic. I've never used an acrylic that feels just a little bit like cotton. And that could be because I'm using, you know, wooden needles. But I've used wooden needles before. I don't know. Anyway, this is my whip. I will talk a little bit more about maybe upcoming whips. Because I've started looking, I'm in that phase where I'm looking for patterns, and I'll tell you why. My first finished object is my make-along project. Because I'm home, I've been working on it nonstop. This is what I chose to make. Let me show you. Do you guys remember this Cozy Chic Crochet magazine that I purchased? And I'm pretty sure I did a video on it, like a preview of the patterns. I'll make sure to link it down below in the description box if you want to go check it out. Well, there was a hat here. It's called Lacy Pom Pom Snow Hat. And for my make-along, I decided that I was gonna make this. And the reason I decided is because I had some of this yarn in my stash, 2 balls of this Ferris wheel. This is a worsted weight number 4 by Lion brand, and the color is Vintage Carousel. And I just grabbed it and I'm like, I need something for this. I need something for this because I've used it for something else. I have a few of different shades. I don't know if this is still around or if it has been discontinued, but if it's still around, I highly recommend this yarn. It is so soft for an acrylic. It is 100% acrylic. And it is just, it reminds me of Noro Kureyon. For those of, Noro's been around for a long time. It's the Japanese yarn that they dye, and it's just so colorful. And that's what this makes me think of, but this is super soft. Of course, that is real wool, and this is acrylic. So yeah, anyway, I'm rambling, but that's because I really, really love this yarn. And so I chose to make this hat, and I'm done with it. It was a really quick make. Here it is. Now, this was my first time making pom-poms, and they're not the best. But you know what? It's okay. So yeah, I love the color in this yarn. I love the color, even though my pom-poms weren't the best. Let me show you the other ones. I do love the color of the pom-poms. I love how this yarn is so colorful. And this stitch pattern, this hat, and let me show you how it's supposed to go. Okay, let me show you the picture again. Right? It's kind of like a slouchy hat with the pom-poms there. And so let me put it on. This is how it's supposed to look. I have a big, thick neck, so I have a feeling, and maybe the pom-poms should have been bigger. But let me see. I don't know. I don't know if you can see what that looks like. I hope so. But this is what it looks like, and I'm quite happy with it. I'm not a big hat wearer, but I've decided that because I'm going to be stash busting this year, when I make things, I'm going to make things that I enjoy making, whether that's because of the yarn or because of the pattern. I'm going to make it anyway, because in the past I tend to stop myself because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to use that. Oh, that's not, it's just going to sit there. But this year, I'm gonna save all of these things. I know my hair's gonna be a mess, but my hair's always a mess in every video, I feel like, so that's okay. But yeah, so I'm going to save them, and by the end of the year in December, that way I can gift them to special people in my life. I do work at a college, and I have a group of students that I love to death, so maybe I'll put these in a box and just have them choose from the different projects that I make. So anyway, yeah, I'm so happy with this because it came out cute, I think. I mean, it's a really simple pattern, a really fast one, and the yarn color, I mean, it did all the work for me, right? So I'm really happy with this. So that's for my make-along. That's what I chose to make with my make-along, and I'm already done. So I'm thinking I'm going to choose another thing to do also with my make-along. I'm going to follow the same rules, look for a pattern that is in my library already, and for some yarn. So that's why I mentioned earlier that I would talk a little bit more about upcoming whips, because I've already been looking. Like, I know that I pulled out my Scrap Busting Crochet magazine. I think I shared this one with you all as well. I can't remember. If I didn't and you want to see it, let me know. I'm happy to share it with you and do like a you know, a preview of the patterns. Crochet World has these magazines still available on their site, so they're still available, and you could buy them for a lower price in digital format as well. You don't have to buy the actual, although, you know, I'm just old-fashioned. I like my magazines, but once you start accumulating so much, it is kind of nice to have a digital, right? So anyways, what I was looking at, oh my God, I love this sweater. We're gonna talk about sweaters in a moment, but look at this sweater. I wanna make that so badly. But that's not what I was looking at for the make along. I was looking at maybe doing one of these scrappy holder, like pocketbooks. It's kind of like to put your crochet hooks in them. Or I love this chevron scarf. It's kind of like with the granny stitch. I think that would be really cute, something that I would really enjoy making. There's also a candy shop super scarf. And you know, you can change the yarn. You can use scraps of yarn that you have, but you could also use a self-striping yarn or just a solid one too, and just enjoy the texture. So anyway, I have some ideas for some second, maybe third. I think I'm gonna have time to do a second make-along project. Well, I'm pretty sure that I will, because we still have a few weeks to go. But once I start working, you know, I feel like I'm gonna have so much time, but maybe not so much. So definitely one more project. But if I finish that, I might start a third one, because I want a scrap bust. I want a scrap bust. Oh, and some of the yarn that I'm looking at using, it's, you know, February's coming up, you guys. I want to use my pink yarn. I love pink, and this is the perfect excuse to use. This is from the Lopsided Crafter when she had her subscription box. Love this, love this. And then I also have these other ones from actually by Yarnable. Look at how pretty these are. This is the time to use them, right? This is like a pink and chocolate. And this is like a, you know, with white, black, and pink. And yeah, they're just so pretty. So I want to use these up. I want to make stuff with them. So I'm specifically looking for stuff to make with these. But, you know, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The next two finished objects that I don't have here with me to share with you, but I do have pictures of them. One of them is the ice cream blanket that I was calling my Valentine blanket, because I started it last year. Actually not, yeah, it's now last year, 2022 during Valentine's, because I felt like having a blanket with Valentine colors. And so I used my Ripple Stitch book. I'll link it down below. I know I've mentioned it before. And then I used up some stash yarn that I had. And so I will be sharing a picture somewhere, so that you all can see it. It was folded up. And I was so happy with it. I didn't do a full-on throat because I started to run out of the yarn that I had. I mean, that's what it was for, right? Destashing. So I decided to keep it kind of like a medium size, and I ended up gifting it to a new baby in our family, baby girl, daughter of one of our cousins. And so, yeah, I gifted it, and I feel like it's a nice size because it's not necessarily a baby blanket. Baby blankets are smaller, and when those babies start growing, they kind of outgrow their baby blanket. And this is more like a blanket that will grow with baby girl, and she'll be able to use it as a toddler. I mean, you can even use it as a lapgan as an adult. So it's big enough that, you know, you can cover your knees. It's not a full like big blanket, but it's big enough that baby girl will be able to use it for a while. So I'm really happy about that finished object, because I used up some really pretty yarn and I made something that I was really happy with. My second finished object, you guys have heard me talking about this. OMG. Oh, and the ice cream blanket was crochet. You probably noticed that. But this was a knit project. I finished the Narrows cowl that I was going to be gifting, and I did gift it to her, and so I will be putting the picture somewhere. She sent me a picture of herself wearing it, and it just tickled me pink, and she loved it. I mean, she like touched it. She's like, oh my God, it's so soft. And like, you know, she loved the colors. She was actually wearing another scarf that somebody else made for her. It was a crocheted scarf. And I jokingly said, oh, somebody's competing with me. And she giggled and she's like, yep. And so she's like, but this one goes more with what I'm wearing. So she took that one off and she put mine on, and I was like, I'm so not competitive at all, but I was so happy she did that. She's like, it goes with what I'm wearing. And so she really liked it. It just, you know, it just makes you so happy when you spent time, energy, making something that was specifically for somebody and they love it. Because that, you know, they don't always love it. You just don't know. But I was really happy about this finished object, the Narrows cowl. Okay, let's take a sip before I share with you one of the Christmas gifts that I got this year. I got a yarn bowl, and the yarn is still in here from the hat that I made, because I used this is how much I had left from the Ferris wheel yarn. Very little, as you can tell. Maybe I should make some bigger pom-poms, or just make some pom-poms to use with a future object. But yeah, I got a yarn bowl, you guys. It is not only gorgeous, but it is functional. So I made a video a few weeks back about gift ideas for the knitters and crocheters in your life. And I encouraged everybody, please share it with whoever, you know, your husbands, your spouses, your, you know, whoever, to give them ideas so that they can get you stuff that you would want, right, as a knitter or crocheter. Little did I know that one of my own family members saw it, and she saw that this was one of the items. It wasn't the specific one, but she saw that it was, you know, yarn bowls. And so I have never owned a yarn bowl. It was actually my goal to purchase myself one in 2023. But when she gave this to me, I was like, oh my God, it's the perfect color because I love teal. And when I started using it, you guys, so she said she was really diligent about reading the reviews, because some of them said that it didn't hold the yarn well or that it snagged. So afterwards she was asking me, how did it work? And so I had the yarn in here. It fills a cake pretty decently, and I was using it. I was yanking this, you guys, when I you know, I had it in my living room on the table in the middle, and then I was yanking on this. It wasn't getting snagged. It wasn't, and I thought, oh my God, you know, it's a ceramic bowl. It's a little bit heavy, but it's not so heavy. I was scared that I was gonna yank it too hard and it was gonna pull off the table. It did not budge. It stayed there. I suppose you can get something like, if you do get a yarn bowl that, you know, moves, or that's not heavy enough, maybe something that helps it to stick, like rubbery little bottoms or something. I'm not going to need to do that because this one is heavy enough that it stayed on my living room table, and I was sitting on my sofa and, you know, crocheting that hat for the make-along, and I was totally fine. You know, this is kind of how you yank it, and this was not moving. Another thing that I liked is that it's funny because you don't really think about it. I know that these yarn bowls are supposed to be so that your yarn isn't running around all over, or, you know, rolling around all over the place. But not only did it not roll around all over the place, it also kept the yarn so nice that it never got tangled. Because it's, you know, right now it looks tangled because I've moved it around, but it like stayed standing up on the edges. It was kind of cool to see. If I have a picture, I'll share what it looked like. I think I did take a picture because I thought that it looked so cool. So anyways, I love this yarn bowl. If you have never had a yarn bowl, go treat yourself, or share that video with somebody so that for Valentine's Day they'll get you a yarn bowl, because I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I was gonna say, I would say thank you, but she doesn't watch my videos, but maybe she does because she saw my other videos. So if you're watching, thank you. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, last but not least, there's some collaborations coming up and I'm really excited about them. I want to tell you just a teensy weensy bit about them. So I had a friend, a YouTube buddy, who reached out to me. I'm not going to say her name yet because I kind of want to keep it a surprise, but she reached out to me about doing a yarn swap and I was like, oh my god, yes, how fun. So that is going to be coming soon. We have the video planned to air February 4th. That's a Saturday, so keep your eyes peeled because that's coming. The second collaboration, I was watching another YouTube buddy. I heart her to death. I mean, I heart all the YouTube buddies because we have such a nice community and it's really cool to connect with people who love what you love, you know, and so we love yarn and you know, we love sharing it with each other. We love sharing it with you all. So, yeah, so anyway, I'm rambling, I'm getting cheesy. I can get cheesy so quick. The second collaboration, I saw a video of this buddy. Again, I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but she was mentioning what her resolutions are for 2023, and one of them was to make herself a sweater. And I'm like, oh, that's something I want to do too. So I reached out to her and I said, hey, you know, what if we do a monthly update video, like where we're, you know, sharing how the sweater making process is going, what we chose and all of that, because it'll be our first sweaters. Now she's knit baby sweaters. I have not knit any sweaters. I have avoided gauge like the plague. That's why I like accessories so much, because I don't need gauge. But I am seeing so many beautiful sweaters. And then I don't know if you guys saw Tony Lipsy. You know, she had a video about what she went through and how she struggled, but it was worth it. And I'm like, I want to make a sweater. And it's so hard to find sweaters out there. I don't know about you guys, but maybe because I'm plus size, it's hard to find pretty sweaters that fit right. And then when you find them, they cost an arm and a leg. So I was like, you know what? I need to start making myself sweaters. Another inspiration that I have is Not Enough Yarn, her YouTube channel. She's in the UK. She's always wearing these beautiful sweaters that she's made. And I think a lot of them, she's just using up her yarn stash. That's why her channel is called Not Enough Yarn, because she never buys enough yarn to make a whole, well, not never, I shouldn't say never, but like, I guess when she first started her channel, she didn't buy enough yarn to make one whole project. And so that's why she has all these sweaters that are colorful and pretty. So I want to get to that point, but I think I'm going to start off with like a simple sweater. Anyway, so that is going to be coming up. We're going to be doing, starting in February, every month, we're going to collaborate and air our videos at the same time and let you all know how we're doing on our 2023 sweater. So stay tuned for that. By the way, we did, after chatting, we said, you know, we could invite other people too if they're interested. And so there might be some other YouTubers joining us. So stay tuned, stay tuned. It might, maybe not, maybe it'll just be her and me, and that is totally fine with me. But I think we might have some buddies joining. And if you are a content maker and you want to join us, reach out to me, because you're welcome to participate in this collaboration. It'll be fun. And for those of you that are not YouTube content creators and you are here to see us, I hope it inspires you and motivates you to also make some sweaters for yourselves, because, you know, sweaters are gorgeous. They're pretty. And if not, then maybe you'll have fun giggling at the stuff we go through. All right, you guys, that is it for today. This video, I am filming it on my last day of vacation, but it is going to air on Friday because that is when we do Whip Sips and Fiber Fun Chitter Chatter. So when you comment, please know that I won't be able to reply until the end of the day after work, maybe even not till Saturday, depending on how things are going at work, because after coming back from vacation, sometimes it gets a little bit crazy, right? So just know that I won't be replying right away, but I will as soon as I'm able to. As always, thank you for your time. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate them all so much, and I appreciate you. All right, have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.